So, the inevitable happened. I knew it was going to happen. It's just a matter of time. But, yeah, there was some debris on the road. Took out the oil pan. So, yeah. I shut it down right away, so hopefully it's okay. But there was like a rock and it deflected and then it just pile drived into the oil pan. So, it is time to cut down an oil pan. So I'll walk you through that. Right now I just have an old oil pan off one of the old junk motors. I'm just gonna pressure wash this sucker all off, get her all cleaned up, and then I think I showed this before, but I'll go through the steps. I pull the filter. I guess I'm gonna take about 1.5 inches off of the pan. I don't know if that would have saved me in this case, but either way, seeing how there's a big gaping hole in there right now, I need to get it done. Okay, so I sandblasted this thing, but I still got more sploots there I gotta get rid of. But I got this webbing I don't need, so I'm just gonna cut this off. And same with this. Basically, I'm just gonna cut right along this edge around. I'm gonna go from here to here, so it gets me about 1.5 inches. So that's what I'm taking out of the pan. Just gotta get my masking tape, do a straight mark around for the cut, and yeah, I'll show you what it looks like after I cut it. My cutter of choice here is just a regular old zip disc. So yeah, it's messy, I don't dig it, but whatever. So I masked it off with the masking tape. Works out to 1 3/8 inches. So that's pretty much what we're going to take out. It will probably be that with the 16th, so we'll be a little closer to the 1.5 inches there by the time I cut it with the zip disc. But yeah, I'll do the old time lapse while I chop that thing up. So here's the cut product. That's what we took out. So we're going to have to remove that as well from the oil pickup after. Like roughly that much. Yeah, the gaps aren't perfect, but whatever. I'm okay with TIG welding that. Yeah. Clean up the edge a little bit, but yeah. Pretty much hate life and start welding. This stuff sucks because it's so porous. That's why I sandblasted it. I've hit it with the wire wheel, but it's about all you can do. Some guys will barbecue it and that makes it better, but I don't have any luck with that, so I pretty much just fight with this thing and weld it together. So what I'm going to do is get her about where I want, do 4 tacks, and then just weld the sucker solid. So. Well, that struggle was real, which pretty much is every time I weld one of these. It ain't pretty. And it's probably not sealed, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to sand this down, rough it up. I'm going to pick up some JB Weld and then weld it up. JB Weld it up. I never have much luck. There's always a pinhole or something somewhere. It's looking better actually, but whatever. I don't trust it. You can see inside, then all this jazz goes back in, but I gotta clean this all out. Make sure none of this junk is still in there. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of cutting down one of the pans. Okie dokie. So I booged the pan. It's all boogered for now. I'm just gonna let this dry. My welds might have been fine, but I'm pretty sure something would have leaked, so I'll just throw some JB Weld around it, and that's just some cheap insurance. So, yeah, gonna let that dry, clean it all up. I'll have to get my car in. I pressure washed the underside of it. Just waiting for me to get that one roller and the kid to finish his car over there so I can get my car in. So for now there's this. Later on I'm going to cut this. Blindly just cut this one down. That much, whatever I need. And glue her back together and yeah, go from there. So here's my Fandango jig. This is pretty much where everything's got to sit. So I gotta weld this up first and then weld that to that. Have everything marked out on the bench there where it's supposed to go. Hopefully it fits back in. Put a new seal on the bottom. So I'm just gonna glue this together quick. So this is all welded up, but if you're not good at welding, you're probably going to want to get somebody to do that for you, because you may have some oil pressure issues if you don't weld that up tight. I TIG welded it, so now I'm just going to set this back down on my jig, all my marks I got on the bench there, and then zap the hood back to that prop. So all glued together, ready to go. So, all glued together, ready to go. I just got to clean everything now because it's got all sand junk in it from sandblasting and whatnot. But at least when I get my car in, it should be a quick R&R and I should be back on the road here. Well, let's do our damage assessment. So, yeah. Yeah, definitely a hole in there. That is definitely the problem. Well, okay, now I just gotta get this oil pan off. Luckily it's not terrible, like there's plenty of room. So I can drop it, I haven't pull the motor or do anything. So, yeah, let's get this pan out. At least I don't have to drain the oil, that's been done. So I cleaned all the dust out of this thing, all the aluminum dust. I gave everything just a quick thin, I know it's a rubber gasket, but I just like to give it a thin skim of silicone just in case. Now yeah, throw this sucker back in the car. So pan's on, but I had to grind through some of the JV Weld there, so I'm gonna let that set up again if I stop playing with it. So let that set up, then I'll bolt this back together, fill it with some oil, and see if anything broke. Should be fine though. At least the pan's like tucked up nice away now. Now I can just murder my transmission if it hits something again. We got her back on the ground on all fours. Starts up fine, no noises, so small win, small victory. Now we'll test her out a bit. Make sure everything's good.